Coach Andrew.
After you've started DragonFrame and you've gone and set up your focus and done your test shots to make sure your exposure value is correct, then you're ready to go ahead and go back to the animation window, which is this window here, by clicking the icon up here at the top right. And we can start animating our scene. The first thing we'll want to do is we'll want to open up the timeline, which is this button here. And right now I have one picture that I've taken already, and then I have my camera. If I click on my camera, that's what we call live view, and if I put my hand in front of it or move something, you'll see it. If I click on this image, that's actually an image, and I put my hand in front of the camera, it won't show up. So let's go ahead and back to our camera. I'm going to go ahead and move my keys a little bit since I've already taken one picture. And we're going to take another shot. You can hit the record button on your keypad, which looks like this, and there should be one on the desk. You hit the record button, and it will take a picture. Okay. Now you should see that frame show up on your timeline, and your camera should move down to the next frame. Let's go ahead and move these again, and let's take another picture. As soon as you hear the camera open and close, you can go ahead and reach in and set up your next picture. You might happen to reach in too fast. Like this picture, and you'll need to delete it. There's an easy way to delete that. If you hit the delete key on your keypad, you can delete it. You can actually hit the delete key on your regular keyboard as well, I believe. So let's go ahead and hit delete. And that frame is now gone. Okay, a couple things you might want to do as you're animating is you might want to see what we call onion skinning, or you can see multiple frames at once. To do that, we're going to click on this icon here, and we're going to turn on so we can see a couple frames at a time. And you can change how many scenes your frames you see by sliding this here, and you can start to see my different frames. You can also use this slider here once you've turned on the onion skinning here. If you want to see more frames, you can stretch that out and see more frames, more or less opacity. And there's different opacity modes that you can play with as well. These first two are usually the ones that we'll use. Again, if you want to turn that off real quickly here, you could just slide this here at the bottom and turn that off. From time to time, you'll want to play your animation to see what you've got. So we'll go ahead and you can hit the play button on your keypad. And you can start to see your animation. One thing you'll want to remember is we're taking these at a pretty low frame rate, and by default, I think it's set pretty high, maybe 12 frames a second. We're going to go the lowest frame rate we can on this, which is 8 frames per second. But if it's set real high, say 24 frames a second, and I hit play, it'll go much faster, but your movie will be much quicker or shorter. So we'll go ahead and move that back to 8 frames per second and hit play. There are times you may want to stretch a frame out, just repeat the same frame over and over. All you need to do is come to the end of that frame and pull it out as many frames as you need, and you'll notice that that frame is now being held for 3 frames. You may notice that time to time that your live view will go to sleep. No big deal. All you have to do is press the 3 key on your keyboard and it will come back into live view. When you're done, what you'll want to do is you'll want to export your movie or your animation into a movie. So we're going to go File, Export Movie. Really don't need to change many settings here at all. Let's just go ahead and hit Export. And again, let's export it to the E drive here. And you can give it a new name if you want, but we're going to leave it as Test 0101 and say Export Movie. And you are done. You can preview your movie. It should pop up. And we can hit play and see our quick little movie.